This is Yu Kamiya, the author of No Game, No Life, or as I like to call it, No Game, No Second Season. Please laugh, I'm desperate. He is also the reason that No Game, No Life doesn't have a second season. Yet. For the sake of this video, I will take on the profession of a No Game, No Life historian and walk you through the origin of the story to the massive controversies surrounding the anime, all the way to why it is highly likely that there will be a second season. So stay tuned. Yu Kamiya started writing the series in the form of light novels back in 2012, which quickly got published. At an editor's meeting, the editor suggested that Mashiro Hiragi, Kamiya's wife, could collaborate with him to create a manga. The manga wasn't published regularly though, so it seems like it was more of a hit or miss whether you would see your favourite manga No Game No Life in Monthly Comic Alive. In 2014, Studio Madhouse announced the anime adaptation of No Game No Life, and even though a lot of critics thought that both the light novel and the anime were shallow and painful to watch, the public disagreed, myself included to a certain extent. I wouldn't rate it amongst my highest anime of all time, but I would be lying if I said that I didn't enjoy it. I mean, it has a rating of 8.11 on my anime list, which is higher than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. Quite whack in my opinion. So we've got this great series on our hands that everybody loves and wants to have more of. What could possibly go wrong? Well, it turns out that quite a lot can actually go wrong. Just like you have been going wrong by not liking the video, subscribing and telling me what you want to hear about next in the comments. Sorry for that, Shill. Let's get started on the controversies. Funnily or unfunnily enough, there are two of them, and I'm going to start with the smaller one and then get to the larger one. The smaller one is the Australian controversy, mainly the prohibition of 3 of the light novels being sold in Australia due to the sexualization of minors. Now this might sound minor, pun intended, but imagine if you are a large company like Netflix that wants to keep away every single stain from their spotless t-shirts. Accusations like this from the government might make a product like No Game No Life seem a bit less appealing. Now let's talk about the larger controversy at hand. I'm talking of plagiarism. When the drawings that Yu Kamiya made of the characters in his light novel came out, an artist accused Kamiya of plagiarism. While the characters might not really look that similar, the really obvious thing is the similarity of the poses. I have a few examples flashing up on screen right now, and I think you can see what I mean. This might seem minor, why is somebody making such a big fuss over poses? But what needs to be said is that Kamiya was profiting off this artwork while the original artist wasn't credited, and also Kamiya was probably tracing these poses. Now we don't know what happened between Kamiya and his publishers. Often, publishers don't want anything to do with authors who tarnish their reputation. I mean, the character designer for Muv-Luv Alternative was fired because fans pointed out that a lot of the poses that he drew looked similar to other anime characters. But what we do know is that Yu Kamiya publicly apologized to the artist and paid them for using their work. While this does suggest a certain amount of guilt, in my humble opinion that was absolutely the right thing to do. Obviously, all these things have played a part in the absence of the second season. Whether it was the right or wrong thing to do is a question I can't answer, just like I can't tell you if there will be a second season at all. But let me tell you why I think there's a very high likelihood of a season 2. First of all, you have probably noticed that there has been a massive influx of anime viewers around the world. And in turn, there's also been an increase in anime shows on Netflix and other streaming sites. But even more promising than that is that these companies are producing their own anime as well as continuing series such as Baki, 17 years after Baki originally aired, I should add. For reference, the first season of No Game No Life came out 6 years ago. Secondly, there was actually a No Game No Life movie in 2017, which was after the original controversy, which in turn leads you to believe that publishers and anime studios might not have such a big problem with No Game No Life anymore. Finally, the controversies. The plagiarism allegations between Kamiya and the artist have already been settled quite well by Kamiya himself, and I doubt there are many people out there who will still make a big fuss about his plagiarism if Netflix were to release No Game No Life Season 2 tomorrow. And as for the ban in Australia, I really want to remind you that Netflix also released Cuties, so I don't think they will really be concerned with what the Australian Board of Censorship thinks if they didn't even ban the anime but just the light novels. So if you are a No Game No Life fan, then it's time to pray to the anime gods for Season 2, and if you press the subscribe button, it might just give you that extra piece of luck that you need. My name has been Lenny AW, please have a nice day.